everybody. Join me outside in the sunshine. We're going to be talking about some taboo subjects. As you know, some of you know, my phone holder is broken, so I'm leaning it up against a pot outside. And I might be eating, so don't judge me. I'm currently in wait mode right now. One of my cakes is baking, one of them's chilling. My GoPro camera battery is dead, so I gotta wait for that to charge. The baby's sleeping. So I have nothing better to do than to actually eat something and be on Periscope, right? Okay. Yes, pricing is a very tricky subject. Hi, Natalie. The reason why we don't talk about pricing in groups, including my groups, is because, hey, Kara, pricing is different for everybody. So if one person in the boonies out in North Dakota says, how much do you price for this frozen cake? And somebody in New York says, oh, you charge $800 for that. And somebody else might say you charge $200 for that. And the reason, and people are like, you're charging too little. Or nobody ever says you're charging too much. Isn't that funny? But they always say you're charging too little. Because we have a problem with everybody underpricing cakes, right? And everybody hates that. Hate underpricers. Hey, Sachiko. So I wanted to talk about a couple of points, and you guys can put in your 2 cents, and we'll talk about it a little bit. So first of all, how do you price your cakes? Like seriously, like newbies, they seriously do not understand how to price your cakes. And the question is usually more complicated than people want to hear. They think there's some magical like calculator or like chart or something to do it for them, and you can't do that. Basically what I do is this is how I learned in pastry school, so it's the old school way. I'm sure there's programs that allow you to do pricing easier, maybe Cake Boss software or something. But I take one recipe of my cake batter or fondant or buttercream, and I literally say, okay, 1 container of eggs, that's 5 dozen eggs or 10 dozen eggs or whatever, cost me $15. So how much, I'm gonna block that person. How many eggs are in 1 batch of batter? And I literally find out how much 1 egg costs. And in 1 gallon of milk, it costs $2. And how many cups are in 1 gallon? And that's how much that costs. So I figured out how much 1 batch of batter costs. So if I have to double it, I know it costs this much. And if I have to triple it, it costs this much. And I do the same thing with fondant, and I do the same thing with buttercream. So that's pretty much the 3 things that I'm using, right? And that's how you price it out. So you literally have to price out, you have to figure out how each one of your recipes costs, and that's how much it costs. And then people say that's how much your cake costs. No. That is not how much your cake costs. If your cake costs you $2, you don't charge 10, you gotta talk about your labor. Yes. So then we talk about how much do you charge for labor? Some people say they charge $25 an hour. Some people, they charge $5 an hour. I mean, that's your choice, how much you want to get paid per hour, right? I think $15 an hour is a minimum that you should be paying yourself. And how do you find out how long something takes you? Well, you have to pay attention. You have to actually pay attention to how long a cake takes you from beginning to end. So, I know from experience that a certain cake might take me 2 hours or 3 hours or something. And the way that you do that is you make a cake, like maybe practice icing an 8-inch cake and see how long does it take you to bake it. Don't count your time of downtime, because if you're working from home, you're not baking right then. You're doing laundry or whatever, just don't count that part. Or maybe count half. I don't know. That's just what I do. But you got to count the amount of hours that it takes to actually make the cake. And then if you're adding anything like figures or flowers, how long does it actually take you to make a flower? If it takes you 5 hours to make a flower, then you might want to charge like $50 for that sugar flower. And people say, do you want to is then people say, then I can't charge $50 for a flower. Well, then that person doesn't get a flower. I mean, that's life. That's business. You don't give them a break. You don't cut them a deal. You charge them what the flower is worth. Now, don't overprice the thing. Don't charge $100, you know, or if they order like a whole cake that's full of flowers, maybe I'll give them a deal. Maybe I'll charge them $300 for 3 large flowers plus filler flowers, you know? Otherwise they're stuck with fresh, and that's just how it is. Or wafer paper like Kara does. Somebody was talking about including electricity and stuff like that. That's a little difficult because I work from home. So yeah, I'm getting into that. It's about experience. So yeah, you got to charge your utilities. You can't forget about water and electricity and all that stuff. But that varies greatly from, like, are you on well water? Are you in the city? Is your water expensive? I mean, that just is a matter of how much profit are you making, and is that covering your utilities too, right? I'm hungry, so I'm sorry I'm eating and talking. Okay. This is how we work, right? We eat and multitask. So, this is the other thing. Something might take me an hour to make, like a figure, perhaps, because I've made 1 million of them. And so I would charge maybe $100 for a figure. So that's $100 for 1 hour of work. And that's because I have 7 years of experience. I've made probably 1,000 figures. I have a high quality of work. Not that I'm bragging, I'm just saying. So I can charge that. Now somebody else, this might be the very first figure that they've ever made, and it takes them 10 hours to make their figure, and the quality is not good, and maybe they had to even redo it a couple times, and they want to charge $100. You can't do that. You can't lie to yourself, and you can't say, I deserve $100 because I spent 5 hours on this. You have to be realistic. You have to be realistic about your level of skill. So, you know, you can't just walk into a bakery straight out of pastry school, or even worse, no experience, and say, I deserve $25 an hour to work here. They're going to laugh at you and say, no, you deserve an internship, and maybe if you bust ass and you show that you actually can do something and that you're talented, maybe we'll pay you. That's real. That's reality, guys. So if you're trying to say that people in my area won't pay me enough for what my cakes are worth, the problem is more likely, and don't hate me for saying this because it's just the truth, the problem is probably you. It's true. Because your level of quality of cakes will match your price. You can't be busting out little rosette buttercream cakes and say this deserves $700. No, nobody's gonna pay $700 for your buttercream rosette cake that every Pinterest mom on Pinterest will make. And I don't care if it took you 10 hours, you know? Like, that's just the truth of it. So in reality, you have to think about your competition. What are they making? And rise above that. So if your competition are making cheapo cakes, and if your competition's the bakery and they're busting out their crappy bakery cakes, and you're like, I can't sell anything because the bakery is selling their stuff for so cheap, I can't compete with that. Why are you competing with the bakery? Like, your cakes can't be, like, they have to be better than the bakery, right? You're either marketing yourself towards those customers, which don't have any money, obviously, because they're buying their cakes from a bakery. You have to market yourself to people who have money. So what do people with money like? They like high quality, they like good service, they like more than just you saying, hey, you're gonna have to come pick up this cake because I got shit to do, you know? Like, people who have money and have high budgets, they need you to do way more than just make them a cake. If they just wanted a cake out of the bakery, they just go to the bakery. So what are you offering that is worth $1,000 price tag? Your quality of work has got to be off the charts amazing, which means this is not the first time you made this cake. You've made this cake a bunch of times, or you've practiced this a bunch of times, or you know enough about your skills that you know you can knock this cake out of the park, so you can for sure deliver $1,000 cake, right? You have to have a really good website. You have to have a website that showcases your great pictures, and the website has to be about your cakes, not about you. Nobody cares about you. They don't care about your logo. They don't care about your personality. They probably care about your customer service. Let's be honest. That's a big deal. They care about how you are during a consultation. They care about, how well and easy and how professional you are to work with. But nobody cares about your personality, or I want my logo to say it's me, 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 me. Your logo and your website has to convey professionalism, perfection, high quality, whatever. Do you think the Nike logo conveys, the attitude and personality of the owner of Nike? No, it doesn't. It's geared towards the people who are buying the products. Same thing with Target. Same thing with Nordstrom's. All of these logos are just clean, they're simple, they're unique. That's it. So it doesn't matter really what exactly, Nike, Devin's on here. She works at Nike. So if your logo is a picture of a cartoon character and he's got maybe he's got a flamethrower and he's torching a cake or whatever, that might be your personality and that might be really fun and funky to you. But don't complain when you can't get the high-end clients, because the truth of the matter is most people with a budget, they want a certain look of the people that they're working with. So they want something that's clean and simple and pretty and beautiful and appeals to them. It's the same thing with selling houses. You don't paint your wall red when you're trying to sell your house. You paint it beige because beige appeals to the masses. Beige allows people to imagine themselves living in this house. They don't want to see your personality in that house. They want to see their own ideas and their own dreams reflected. Same thing with a business. So if you're going to a website and you see a logo that is just simple and clean and beautiful and professional, that appeals to me. That's generic. I say, okay, this is a professional business. I go to the website. There's no gifts. There's no crazy colors. It's a very generic, light and bright and beautiful website with some clean photos. This appeals to me. I feel like this person's a professional. The pictures are not in their kitchen. They're not sitting on the countertop. They're not in the fridge. They're nice pictures. Even if you had to make demo cakes and take pictures of those, like the faux cakes, then do that. I mean, you have to bring the quality of your work up to where you want your people, like where your demographic is. So if you've got a low quality, or what if you only have a Facebook page? Like, there are people out there who literally only have Facebook pages and they complain about not having high quality clients with no money. People, just stop. Get a website. You can make literally free websites on Squarespace using a template in like an hour. Just drag and drop. It's super duper simple. No excuses not to have a website in this day and age. Stop taking orders on Facebook. Like, professional people do not buy cakes on Facebook. So how do you get the high paying customers when you have a website? So people who have budgets have, yes, Wix is a great website too, to make good websites. Yes, make a website, all of y'all. Make a website, damn it. What was the other thing I was saying? Oh, so you get high You get professional clients because professional people search on Google. They say, wedding cakes in my city, and then Google pops it up. Now granted, it takes a few months for websites to gain traffic, because when you make a website instantly, it doesn't necessarily pop up. Like, Google needs to look at it, make sure you're not a spammer, and decide where you are at in that category. Another thing is having really good photos on your website, so that and then pinning them. You gotta pin that shit, and you gotta post it to Instagram so it gets all over the internet, so that when people go to Pinterest, they see your amazing cake and it takes you to your website, not Facebook. You can't pin photos from Facebook. So if you have a Facebook page and all of the photos on Facebook helps you, not at all. Zero. So if you are making beautiful pictures and you're putting them on Facebook, that doesn't help you at all. That doesn't help you get orders. Pinterest is an extremely great way to get orders from high-paying clients, because where do brides go to make their dream album for their wedding? Pinterest. Yep. Somebody says, is it expensive to upgrade to a website? No. Websites are easy. To get a logo done professionally, you can, it just depends. Some people, you can get expensive logos done, you can get inexpensive logos done. You could have a friend make you a logo. The problem is not the designer and how much they charge, the problem is you. Oh, I want it to have a flower and a pattern on the cake, and I want it to have a bow and all of these things on it, and they basically over-design the logo so it looks like crap. You just need a very simple logo. The fussier it is, the less professional it looks, I promise you. If you go look at all of your favorite cake designers and you look at their logo, I bet you it is very simple. It's probably a circle with a name in it or something, or like a cake with a name on it. That's it. Super duper simple, maybe 1 or 2 colors. That's it. Did I say that's it enough? Simple. Like Cara Andretta, Cara Couture Cakes, her logo is a big K, a big pink K. That's all you need. Oh yeah, as far as updating information, my husband is a website designer. He and I both went to graphic design school. My best friend went to graphic design school, so we know a lot about marketing. So I'm not just talking out my ass, like I actually know what I'm trying to say here. So he actually made my website, and I update it, and I use, no, I'm not eating cake. I'm eating a breakfast round. It's got like figs and nuts and stuff in it. I'm able to update it. It's a WordPress site, so you need to know a little bit about websites to update that kind of website. But Wix or Squarespace, you can update that yourself. It's easy. Okay, I think I talked about everything that I wanted to talk about. I think I got a lot off my chest. I feel better. I hope you guys feel better. I know I was a little bit harsh on you. But let's be real with ourselves. People who make money making cakes don't complain about the area that they live in. They don't complain about the market. They don't complain about cheap people. You are in charge of your own profits. You are in charge of it, nobody else. Complaining on Facebook does absolutely nothing to help you. You need to learn the hustle. You gotta learn it. You gotta learn it. You gotta live it. So you need to figure out how much your cakes actually cost to make. You need to price them accordingly. You need to up your skills so that you can actually deliver high-end quality work. You need to take good pictures of them, and you need to put them on a high-quality website with a high-quality logo, and then Pinterest that shit and act like a professional. So, yeah, I charge per serving. That's basically how you guesstimate pricing. I mean, we're barely scratching the surface here. So, you know, I'm trying to give you as much information as possible. But, I mean, the market is so saturated with people learning to be cake decorators. And the difference between us and them is how much work you're willing to put into it. So if you see somebody complaining that they're not getting enough orders, then they're just not working hard enough. It's not working. There are multiple things that you can do to get your stuff out there. And a lot of people say that I spend a lot of time on social media, and it's true because it's my job. To be honest, it's my job to share my stuff all over Facebook and make it annoying and put it all over Pinterest and make sure that I blog about stuff so that it is visible to the world, so that I can afford to pay my bills and to travel places and to actually make money and not just have a cake decorating hobby that pays for itself and nothing else. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah, if you're posting your cakes on yard sale sites, then you're in the bakery store category, and I don't want to hear you complaining that you don't have high quality clients, because high quality clients sure as heck do not buy cakes off of yard sale sites. Just saying. Just saying. I should also mention there's nothing wrong with bakery cakes. Like, there's nothing wrong with people who buy grocery store cakes because that's what they want and that's what they can afford. So there's absolutely no point to be going after those people because they don't want you. Don't be a needy cake baker. They're just not that into you. They want crappy bakery cakes, so let them have it. Those are not your clients. You want the people who want the gigantic cake for their kid's first birthday. They want the gigantic cake for the grand opening of their business. That's your market. That's your demographic. What are those people going to want? Got to step it up. Step it up. Okay, last thing I want to say is if you are at the level where you don't have high quality clients and you're just starting out and your cakes kind of suck still, don't open a business. That sounds so harsh. You have to give yourself time to bring your cakes up to the level where you can be making enough money to support yourself. So if you are making really low quality cakes because you're very new, that's fine. That is absolutely fine. That's what I did. I made really low quality cakes. I made some horribly ugly cakes for my family, for my friends, for 2 years before I ever charged anybody for a cake. And I had a real job. I worked as a graphic designer. I hated it. It sucked, but that's life. You don't charge $10, $15 for your cake and then complain that you don't have high quality clients, because basically what you're doing is you are putting your name out there for everybody to see that you make low quality, grocery store quality cakes. Is that what you want the beginning of your business to be? Is that the name you want to present to the world? Because once you start selling, you can't go back. Everybody tells everybody, oh, so-and-so, she makes cheap cakes, $25. And then when you try and raise your prices, $500, it's just flour and sugar. Don't do it. So that's it. That's everything I gotta say. My baby's awake. I gotta eat my food. Yeah. She's looking at the screen. She's moving around. All right. Share this Periscope, guys. Share it with your friends who complain about not knowing how to price their cakes. Share in the groups that say that they can't get the high quality clients. I'm not saying that I know everything, but I'm just giving you my experiences. I'm not bragging, but I just have gone through a lot of stages. Like, I've gone through all of these stages of underpricing, raising my prices, going from this, going to that, da, 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 da. So I'm just conveying my information based off of my own success, right? So that's all we can do. Okay. My favorite type of cake is pie.